Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Oilers and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's Foles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. In the backfield out of the starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Foles. Underneath for Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
This is taken at the 15. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. Bengals defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team. All right, anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple of touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Green, 39! Green!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the 1st round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him is versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety and a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the outside. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage loss, but gain a few extra.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point put through by Suckup, and that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Now Abdullah, the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it with Johnson. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense.
Here we go now.
They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
They'll drop the throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got room. And now look at him go. And it's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6. And just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass.
Ball.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Suckup for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Abdullah, the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. The first catch for the man leading the NFL in receiving yards in this first month. And a first down to boot. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you, keep throwing it. Occasionally, you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Green with a catch left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. First down carry here for Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They go to Johnson again. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. That one good for 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll go on the ground. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now let's go. Blue Nine. Blue Nine.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down. Almost back to the drawing board.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll try to run it in with an option right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll go with a keeper. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Michel. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taking it around the 40. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff looking right. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Kicked off near the 32. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
Hang on now. Blue line it. Blue line it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Green.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
They've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Down, he'll drop to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And it's a fumble. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and this is back to a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Right back to him on first down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. He'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
All right, here we go.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking downfield for Jones. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle, and they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr lighting it up. 3 touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they're going to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he finds Corey Davis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start.
Here we go now.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now bottled up. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards? And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And they'll run it here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. Room to run inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now they try the right side here. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point try now for Succop. Extra point put through by Succop. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Succop out to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's James. And they'll get him down up past the 15. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Well, they bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for Houston. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, They put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And caught, right side, Green. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now back to throw. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll drop to throw, and the catch good. It's Eifert. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. To the right side and complete to Washington. 23 yards on the play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
They'll set up to throw. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. And they'll run it here. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room at the 30. And he's all the way up to the 39-yard line that time. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So they bring out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for our visitors, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.